We'll call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. My name is Matt Hovey. I'm the acting chair for the Community Advisory Council. I've been involved with the CAC now since my current freshman started kindergarten. It's been a great experience. I appreciate those folks. Oh, do we have the, I'll slow down. We good? Okay, thank you. So I appreciate seeing some new faces here tonight. We had a great meeting, our last CAC General, if you were fortunate enough to join us then. We talked about some of our strategic plan with Dr. Johnson and how the Community Advisory Council would align with that plan. The Community Advisory Council's 50-plus-year-old council member of citizens and residents here in the U46 school district. It is a great place where you get to meet one-on-one with administrators, school board members, and find out really a lot more that's going on within the district that you may not hear in your little small community school. So with that, I do welcome everybody to join us for next year. Just a brief overview of some of our meeting agendas, subject to change. In September, we will have our welcome meeting where we'll go over what it means to be a Community Advisory Council representative. We'll talk about bullying in October. We'll be working with the strategic plan in November and Unite U46. Every December we have a U46 roundtable. It is probably the best event, so if you don't come to any other event, definitely come to the roundtable. There you get to sit across the table from the school board administrators as well as our school board members. And it's been great. We've been doing it virtual now for about 3 years? 4 years?
Pandemic.
And it really is a great presentation to do that way. In January, we're slated for a mental health. That will be virtual, sponsored by our Specialized Student Services group. We're working with our other community advisory councils on a Black History celebration for February. In March, we'll talk about middle school updates. As you may be aware, the district is currently undergoing some really big changes in moving middle school from 7th grade and 8th grade to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about there. We'll get back to our strategic plan in April, and then we'll be back here in May for the end of the year reports. So right now, we do offer our public 3 minutes if you have any public comments. If there's anybody that has public comments, just come on up here. So I think we're good there. So we'll move on to our board update. Tonight we have board member Dawn Martin to give us the update. Thank you.
All right, good evening. I'm happy to be here tonight. The sheet says it's a few updates. It's more than a few updates because it's spring and we're really busy here in the district. So I'm going to start with student registration. Online registration for next school year, the 24-25 school year, is now underway. Families should visit u46.org/registration to start the process. I am pretty sure you can also get to it if you go into Infinite Campus. There should be a registration online type button you can do in Infinite Campus also. It does seem a little early, I understand, but we are already making important decisions about staffing and transportation for next year. Families who register their children now help ensure that all U46 schools are ready to welcome students on the first day of school in August. Once again, next year we will not be collecting instructional fees. We are covering them, I believe, one more year. And we are asking that everyone who is currently enrolled to have your students registered by May 31st. In addition to registration, one of the things that goes along with that is the health requirements. So, if your kids are entering kindergarten, 6th grade, 9th grade, or 12th grade, They will need to be aware of certain health requirements mandated by the state of Illinois. For our incoming seniors, that means proving they are up to date on their meningococcal vaccine. That's the meningitis one, which I believe is A, but if they're going into college, you need meningitis B, for anyone who's got kids in both levels. For students in the other listed grades, physical exams and other immunizations are required. You can find details on the requirements as well as the necessary forms in the Health Services section of the U46 website at u46.org/health. All health forms are due on or before August 13th. Families who have questions or need assistance locating a clinic for physical or immunization, you can contact the nurse at your school and they'll be able to help you with that. If you have students doing athletics at the high school level, and I think middle school, there's also a separate physical form for that you would want to look into. All right, so spring is very busy in our district. This last 2 months is no exception. Our next board meeting is this coming Monday, May 6th. After that, on May 13th, we will be at South Elgin High School to celebrate the top 2% of students graduating from our 5 comprehensive high schools. We also have a meeting on May 20th, and I do believe that one is back at our regular location. The next Unite U46 Community Engagement Session is being held on Wednesday, May 8th at Eastview Middle School. It will outline the recommended attendance boundaries for the new middle school in Bartlett, which is scheduled to open in August of 2025. The African American Advisory Council is meeting virtually on Thursday, May 9th. Let's see. Attendees will be asked for their input on ways to increase educational equity for our students. Friday, May 10th is an important deadline for parents of incoming kindergarten or first grade students who are interested in our dual language program. That is the date when the dual language interest form is due. The U46 Planetarium will host its last public sky show for this year, also on Friday, May 10th. In addition to the show, there will be an informative session outlining the history of the building and its rich connection to Elgin. On Saturday, May 11th, our Deaf and Hard of Hearing program is hosting a 5K walk and run. This will be at the Bartlett Nature Center, and there is still time to register for that event. All of the events can be found on the U46 calendar at our u46.org website. That is most everything. You can always find board updates on the district website by going school board and view highlights of all of our meetings. Thank you for listening to me and letting me be here. And now we will hear from Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. This evening, I want to welcome you all to CAC, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to join you. We do have a number of administrators in the room tonight, and so I'll introduce them. You've already met Board Member Martin, but we do have our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Annette Acevedo. We have our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Mr. Brian Tennyson. We have our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Celia Banks. We have our Director of Transportation, Marcy Murphy. We also have Katie Cox, our Director of Early Learners, who has just stepped out for a minute. And we also have our Coordinator for Communications and Media Relations, Tara Burkhart, here with us tonight. I really do just have a few items. Ms. Martin had the heavy lifting. So at the end of the month, on May 25th, we have graduation. So about 3 weeks from now, we will celebrate 2,500 graduates from U46. It's an early day. Bartlett High School has the first ceremony at 8 a.m., followed by Larkin at 11, Streamwood at 2, South Elgin at 5, and Elgin will close the show at 8 p.m. on the 25th. Last week, we had a reception to recognize 30 recipients of the U46 Superintendent Scholarship. All of these students and scholars are first generation college students, and they each received a scholarship for $2,000. I want to thank the U46 Foundation and specifically the Siegel Foundation for their support of that effort. Later this month, Continuing our celebration, we're going to recognize 47 seniors who are enrolled full-time in the dual credit program at Elgin Community College. 35 of those students will be graduating not only with a high school degree, but an associate's degree in May. So that's a tremendous accomplishment. And I encourage you all to continue to follow our seniors, our graduates, with hashtag U46 Class of 2024 campaign on our social media. Follow on our U46 Facebook page for profiles of our amazing graduates, including photos and videos of their big day. And in closing, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Thank you, Ms. Martin. The approval of the prior minutes, we'll go ahead and table that. There was a scrawling error. So those minutes will be approved at our next regular general session in the fall. Our business agenda tonight, we have 2 active subcommittees this year. They are Specialized Student Services and Instructional Initiatives. Used to call that curriculum.
Yeah.
So if I could have our Specialized Student Services committee co-chairs, Sarat and Ginger, join us up here, and they'll present their committee work for the year and their recommendations to the board.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sarah Siddiqui,
Virginia McHugh-Kurtz.
and we're both co-chairs for the Specialized Student Services Committee, and we're presenting our 2023-2024 year-end report. First of all, so we are the 2 co-chairs. She represents South Elgin High School, I represent Hilltop Elementary School. And there are 2 other committee members that we have. We have Avita Odom from Sycamore Trails, as well as Cassie Cook from Canton Middle School. And the 4 of us basically are the committee, so if you know anyone who'd like to join our committee, please head them our way. Or send them our way. Yeah. So our district liaison is Dr. Latrice Satterwhite, who is the Director of Specialized Student Services at the moment.
For now. Yes.
She is going to be transitioning to a different position, and we will have a new director soon. So our acknowledgements, we'd like to acknowledge once again and thank District U46 Director of Specialized Student Services, Dr. Latrice Satterwhite, her secretary Peggy Berry, and the rest of her staff. We'd also like to thank the Director of School and Community Relations, Carla Jimenez, and the translator, Brenda Gomez, for helping with the publicity and communications for our events, for the Spanish translation and interpretation, since we interpret and translate every program that we do. Thank you to the CAC Executive Committee and the Board of Education for their continued support of our committee, and we appreciate being able to give support to the parents of special education students within U46, and we look forward to continuing our work. Our mission is to act as a resource for parents of students in special education or those receiving special services or support by facilitating information sharing and making parents aware of U46 and outside community programs and resources. Do you want to add something?
No.
Oh. The committee also works to provide opportunities for parent engagement. So the summary of our committee members, we consist of dedicated parents who are committed to enhancing services for special education community in this district. Our membership includes representation from a variety of schools, and all of our current members have had direct experience with special education services. Our initiatives for 2023-2024 was to host 2 different parent education sessions with presenters from both outside the district and within it. We actually did 3, but we assisted in the planning of a presentation at a general CAC program on mental health services across the district. We continued our work to establish parent education opportunities and create awareness amongst district staff and parents of outside resources for the special needs community.
I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on our program series, but hopefully you were in attendance to some of those. All of our presentations are held on Zoom. as parents of children with specialized, in the specialized service, student services program, we know that that's important for access. And they're all recorded, so you can always go back and watch one of these if need be. Our first one was executive functioning, preparing your child for independence at all ages. The presenter was Joey Williams from Advanced Behavioral Solutions. We had over 100 guests at that event, and what that presentation was to help with day-to-day strategies for children to promote success, overall success in building their ability to manage actions and choices independently. Then we had It's Okay Not to Be Okay, and that was held during our general CAC in January. The presenters there were Kendall Kinshaw, former private placement administrator, and Mary Abbott, the lead social worker. And we had 58 attendees for that to look at how the school district is supporting mental health and providing data in that support. And then our last presentation was a guide to navigating your child's transitions in U46 special education. And we had a variety of presenters from all over the district, different administrators, and we had 72 guests for that. And parents learned about school transitions with specialized student services from early childhood to kindergarten, elementary to middle to high, and high school to post-secondary education. So we had a short program on that, and then we went into, the attendees went into breakout rooms to learn more and ask questions about those specific transitions. And again, all of these programs were presented in English with Spanish translation.
All right, and so our coming recommendations for 2024-2025 are as follows. Both of us will continue to be the chairs for this committee. So programs for parents of students with special needs that are presented by a staff member, this is what we want. By a staff member in the Specialized Student Services Department. A Spanish translator will continue to be made available for presentations. We also offer Spanish translation ahead of time for our committee meetings to be able to schedule a translator to attend when needed, but we always have somebody present. At the start of the school year, the Director of Specialized Student Services will complete the communications request ahead of time for all presentations, even if the details of the events are not finalized. The Secretary of the Director of Specialized Student Services will be copied on all emails. This is more of our business part, I think.
Yeah.
And then the dates of the CAC presentations will be sent in the fall to the Secretary of the District's Legal Counsel to post along with the District CAC and Board of Education notices. And the Director of School Community Relations will also be copied. And flyers will be used to communicate the event and will be linked to email communications.
And then our potential program topics for this upcoming year will be another roundtable with employees of Specialized Student Services because it was so well received. We, as Matt mentioned, will be doing a bullying presentation at one of the general CAC meetings and possibly collaborating with Culture and Climate. One of our members and administrators, Matthew Murphy, has created a flyer about the different specialized student services departments and lingo, and we'd maybe like to have him present that, possibly have Joey Williams come back from Advanced Behavioral Solutions, or having someone present on equity and inclusion in special education, which we thought we were going to maybe invite Denise Matthews, but now we have an in with Dr. Satterwhite. So we might be able to mesh those together. So does anybody have any questions on our lengthy presentation or report? If not, do you?
I'll make a motion to approve the report.
I'll second.
And Heather seconds, so, and then call
What do we say? Do we just?
All those in favor?
to approve our minutes.
Any opposed?
That we have to present at the board later, so.
All right, so with no opposition, the motion passes.
Sweet.
Thank you.
So the board members, you'll hear it
We'll
again.
hear it a second time.
All right, thank you very much. Heather, did you want to come up? I know you don't have a report, but anything to just kind of wind up the season?
Yeah,
talk about your last meeting and what next
Our
year
last
might
meeting
look
was
like.
prepping reports, so we're still just compiling our report, and we will share it in the fall.
Alrighty, so instructional initiatives, also an active subcommittee. Will need members next year to keep up the good work. Heather's been a great co-chair of that, bringing a lot of hard questions and deep dives into what our curriculum looks like and how it's improved or how it needs improvement. So at this point, this is a tough call because agenda number 7 is for our executive board member election. I have to tell you folks, it's been a little different since the pandemic. We've struggled. Our executive board has been pretty stable for a couple of years, right? So normally what would happen here is we'd have a nomination committee. So I had volunteered to do that. I will not be continuing in my role as chair. I took another employment and will be leaving the district. So I'm pretty sad about that. I've really had a great time here. So without a board to nominate, we'll just have to table this until next year. So I'll leave it in the hands. Those members that are currently with us, Veronica, would you remain as secretary? We don't have to take a vote for that. Yes.
Do you think at this point, if anyone here that came to the
Oh,
meeting wants to be
That is
nominated,
certain.
can they be?
That is certainly, if anybody would like to make a nomination, so like I said, so normally there'd be a slate of candidates kind of selected, and people would volunteer, and the nominating committee would come and say, I nominate these 3 folks. Anybody else want to get nominated tonight? So at this point, you can nominate your next door neighbor, or write in Mickey Mouse.
Frenemies.
Anybody?
Or if anyone's interested.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Because we need a chair.
We need, well, here's what, so we need a chair, or we need a couple co-chairs, and we need a secretary.
Or a co-secretary.
Or a co-secretary. So you don't have to put it all on your shoulders. As far as what am I getting myself into, you ask, right? So as chair or co-chair, you would be responsible for sending the agenda for the general sessions, acting as the facilitator for these events, or sharing that with your co-chair. See, it sounded better already, right?
Not to me.
Oh.
I want to continue this work. I want to focus.
That's good. And that's it. That's really it. We have an executive meeting once a month as well. There's been talk of maybe combining that and having our executive meeting before the general session or after or something like that, so that you don't have as many nights to commit. But that's what it is. So are there any nominators or anybody wants to step? If you can nominate yourself, it's okay.
Please nominate yourself.
Well, I will not, my exit from the district won't be overnight, so I will be around to assist anybody. I'll remain, I guess, if you're the de facto chair, I have a seat on the executive board anyway, so I've always done that. So if there's no motions from the floor, I guess we'll move on to other business. And yes.
I would like to put it in the record to thank Matt for his hard work as our chair for this time, so thank you. Yes.
Thank you. And my other business, I just wanted to say thank you as well. I wanted to say thank you to all the past council chairs. I want to say thank you to all the committee chairs, past and present, all members, past and present, for your advocacy for our kids in the district. I want to thank you for your generous character, and I want to make a special thanks to Carla, who is not here tonight. But Carla, she held my hand for the past 10 years. and was so very helpful. I first met her working with the Family and Community Engagement Committee, and I'm very glad to see her in a position. I think the district made a very good decision. So, you know, the Community Advisory Council, it's a unique part of this district, and I really feel that in the folks' hands here, you're going to be fine. So I'm very sad to go, but I'm happy knowing all the great work we've done over the years. Thank you very much.
So Matt, I'm presenting you with this very small token of all of our appreciation for your volunteerism, your commitment to our students and our community and our colleagues. I really appreciate that. Certainly you've given so much of your time and your passion, and it has enhanced programming and opportunities for our students. And on behalf of School District U46, thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Carla's not here tonight because her son is being
I know.
celebrated.
I know.
And so I just want to share that. She,
Yes,
I know,
yes.
was
She-
really
yes.
like stressed about that
I'll
as
hunt her
well.
down, don't worry.
Okay, all right. So-
No, she's doing something with her kid, and listen, that's what this is all about,
Yeah.
right? That's what got me involved with the Community Advisory Council. I was new to the district, my kid's going in their kindergarten. What is this great important thing that I have to be a part of? I was actually very upset when I went to my school and found out that the PTO had scheduled an event the same night as the general meeting, so. But thank you very much. Without further ado, can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you very much. Okay, good night. Be well.
Yeah.